As a man, as a father, I absolutely had to talk about this story. This is the epitome of what I've been talking about when it comes to defending your children. As a man, this is why we need fathers. You need fathers like this. You need fathers like myself out there to defend your children, to defend your babies, and especially to defend your girls, right? This man was put in a nightmarish situation to where he was confronted with having to defend his baby, and he went to the ultimate end of what he felt like he needed to do. And guess what? As a father and as a man, and even more so as an American, I don't blame him at all. And a lot of people out there that hear this story will not blame this father for the choice that he made behind this damn pedophilic fool. I'll give you guys a disclaimer about my content. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. And we're getting this story from Daily Mail, so thank you, Daily Mail. This is the biological father, so I want y'all to see that his GoFundMe has been taken down. I wish they would have been able to keep it up, but I kind of understand why GoFundMe had to take it down. Like, I definitely totally get it. But that's the biological father. The man that violated in this situation was this guy. This was the jerk off. This was the hebephile. This was the pedophile right here. An outraged mother said that she stands by her husband after her husband was arrested for shooting and killing that man right there that you guys see on my screen. The father shot and killed this guy. So a lot of y'all are probably wondering why. Well, here's why. He shot and killed a 67-year-old man who abducted his 14-year-old daughter. Michael Fosler abducted his 14-year-old precious princess, his baby. Highlight that in your minds. Heather Spencer, 37 years old, says their daughter had been targeted, groomed, and raped by Michael Fosler, 67 years old, who was the boyfriend of a family friend, and that happened earlier this year. So he was dating a family friend and was able to kidnap. It sounds like he kidnapped this man's daughter. Fosler was charged and booked with rape and internet stalking of a child on July the 11th. But the 67-year-old was soon to be released on a $50,000 bond with a court hearing in December. Let me say that again. Targeted this man's daughter, groomed this man's daughter, and raped this man's daughter. And they gave a $50,000 bond, $5,000, 10% would get him out. And you thought that was going to fly by the biological father? Oh, in a situation like this, that's the dream scenario that fathers prey upon. Like if y'all ever hear fathers talking about meeting the boyfriend with a shotgun and all of that type of stuff, this is the day that all fathers dream and dread. The day that they actually get to protect or stand on business when it comes to their daughters and their babies and show people that they not effing around. The day came. He got a $50,000 bond and got out. Last Tuesday, Heather and her husband, Aaron, 36 years old, woke up to their dog barking. When they went to check on their daughter, they realized to their horror that she was missing. Aaron got into his truck to find the 14-year-old while a 911 while a 911 was reportedly made to police, but things took a turn where the father found the 67-year-old man with his kid in his vehicle. Caught him. A chase ensued with Fosler taking off with their daughter in tow. Aaron was able to grab her after the car crash, but was allegedly attacked, leading him to shoot the 67-year-old in Lonoke County, Arkansas. Heather was vehemently supporting her husband, calling him a hero and asking for donations to help the family following his arrest. The mom wrote, "My husband is a combat veteran who has always protected his country and family. I have no doubt our child would have not come home if my husband hadn't found her." She also added, "We have received numerous stories from other victims that received no justice after this man attacked them. The system failed over and over to put a predator away. Everywhere this man has went, he's preyed on weak young girls." We have a lot of big emotions right now as we piece together what has happened and how it was able to happen. Please continue to pray for us and share our story. So that's part of what we're doing here. "My husband is a hero and we're thankful to have him home with us for now. We want to do everything possible to ensure that he can continue to be here to protect us." I do want to kind of comment on that real quick, because couldn't that be considered a crime of passion? He was not in his right mind. This was not premeditated. This was fight or flight. And he was just thinking about saving his baby, and he just acted. This man was a threat, clearly presented a threat. And with him being a combat vet, and I think we need to be a hell of a lot more sensitive to our veterans. I don't know why we support illegal immigrants in our country, in the United States of America, which is some bullshit to me. But then you leave our veterans, people who have fought for our country, defended our country, and laid it all on the line for our country, and we continue to keep leaving our veterans hanging, even in this situation. This man shouldn't be facing no charges at all. Shouldn't even be a conversation. But nonetheless, it is. The Lonoke County Sheriff's Office officer released a statement on Wednesday that corroborated the events. A confrontation between two adult males ensued, which resulted in a shooting. That sounds like he was just trying to defend himself. He should get off on self-defense, in my opinion, especially defending his daughter. Which the shooting, let me see. Michael Fosler was pronounced dead at the scene, and Aaron Spencer was taken into custody. Aaron was preliminarily charged with murder in the first degree, which that should be total bullshit. Murder in the first degree, a felony that can carry a maximum term of life in prison. They shouldn't even charge him with that at all. Lonoke County Sheriff John Staley clarified in a video that official charges have not been filed and that he's not advocating for a specific charge after police department got intense backlash for Aaron's arrest, with some accusing the police of being corrupt. Staley told USA Today that Fosler had been arrested by a different law enforcement agency in July for internet stalking of a child and sexual assault. What do you want parents to do when their children are being abused? I personally like the idea of eliminating threats to children. But I guess that's the America that we live in. Staley said, "I absolutely do not support predators. I'm a dad. I have 3 daughters. I know she's hurt right now, but there's absolutely nobody I will put ahead of our children. Their children, my children." The sheriff said law enforcement doesn't file charges and they submit evidence to a prosecuting attorney who would decide whether or not to file charges. But users on Facebook found Aaron's arrest unjust. One user wrote, "Praying for your family that justice will be served. We must protect our children from sex abusers as they serve no purpose in our society." I agree. "Stay strong in faith and keep fighting this horrific, evil attack." Another person wrote, I'm sorry that this happened to you and your family. I pray that your daughter will heal from this and that her daddy will always be there for her and not in jail. He is a true hero and should be exonerated from this. Heather said that they were able to post a $150,000 bond on at 1:12 p.m. on Wednesday, USA Today reported. I don't know why they got so many typos on here. The mother posted on Friday that the family was working with Gun Owners of America to set up a donation link for legal fees after their GoFundMe was taken down, which you guys saw that a second ago. Let me see if I can get to it. Right there, GoFundMe was taken down. The thing is, with the GoFundMe being taken down, they can't start up one. But when you have a murder, someone who is accused of killing somebody, you can't put up a GoFundMe for defense or anything like that on their behalf. She said they're overwhelmed with the amount of love they're receiving on social media, and that other people have come forward alleging to be victims of Fossler. I think this is going to be the last time I use a Daily Mail article. There was so many typos in there. Let me give you guys the fair usage. I'm sorry, Daily Mail, but whoever wrote that article did not do any type of grammar checks. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Man, y'all do me a favor and do me a favor. Please hit that thumbs up. Share the story, make it go viral, because it's stuff like this. If you talk about really wanting to make a difference, even just something as simple as making the story go viral on social media could probably save this father's life who needs to be saved, instead of spending life in prison behind defending his child who was actually being attacked, and then he was attacked and had to defend himself. Like this shouldn't even be a thought of whether he should have to defend himself in court.
From the station that's on your side, this is Channel 7 News at 6.
Well, good evening to you. We begin our newscast in Lonoke County tonight with new information in the case of a father who allegedly killed a man he found with his missing 14-year-old daughter.
36-year-old Aaron Spencer was arrested on a preliminary charge of first-degree murder in the death of 67-year-old Michael Fossler. The Lonoke County Sheriff says Fossler was out on bond at the time of the confrontation after being arrested over the summer for internet stalking of a child and sexual assault. Channel 7's Daniela DeHogany has the story.
Aaron Spencer was acting as a father. There's no way that we're going to put the criminals ahead of our kids. Your kids, my kids, they're all our children.
An Arkansas father, Aaron Spencer, has been charged with first-degree murder following a shooting incident involving Michael Fossler, a 67-year-old man found with his missing 14-year-old daughter. The Lonoke County Sheriff says they responded to the initial call regarding Fossler in July.
Took a report of a inappropriate relationship, possible sexual misconduct, and we realized that was Cabot jurisdiction. We forwarded that to Cabot detectives. Cabot worked that case. He was subsequently arrested back in July, placed in the Lonoke County Detention Center. The initial charges was rape and internet stalking, and I believe other charges were added, such as child pornography.
Spencer called the Lonoke County Sheriff's Office the night of October 8th, reporting his 14-year-old daughter missing.
Hey, my daughter, I can't find her. She's not in her room. So initial call is a missing juvenile. Tuesday morning, about 1 o'clock in the morning. As we're arriving on scene, we get the second 911 call of a shooting.
While deputies were on their way, Spencer informed them that he found his daughter in a truck with Fossler. This led to a dispute between the two men, ultimately with Spencer fatally shooting Fossler.
And it was just down the road. Deputies arrived, investigators arrived. Mr. Spencer was detained because that was a homicide.
The sheriff says the investigation is still ongoing and is in the hands of the prosecutor.
My investigators have family, they have children. I'm a daddy. In a situation similar to this, I can't tell you I wouldn't act the same way. But now we are the fact finders. We don't file the charges. We supply the information so the prosecutor can make a determination whether it was justified or not.
The sheriff says his thoughts are with both sides of the families, saying that the families of predators often do not know what the individual is up to. On your side, I'm Daniela DeHogany.
And again, Spencer was arrested on a preliminary charge of first-degree murder, but is now out on bond. This case is now in the hands of the Lonoke County Prosecuting Attorney's Office, which will ultimately make the decision whether or not to file formal charges.
Matt, let me start with you. Is the analysis, even in a case where, man, did the system mess up by letting this guy out, is the analysis as simple as, in the state, whether if it's not stand your ground, was it reasonable for him to use deadly force in defense of his own life or the defense of his child's life? Is that the end of the analysis for this guy, this dad, Matt?
Ultimately, that is the end. That's the call that a jury, if they charge him with anything here, Chris, that will be the decision they have to make. And look, this is in my view, they shouldn't have arrested him for first-degree murder. That is, the sheriff's right. The prosecutor decides what to charge. This is a voluntary manslaughter at its absolute most. And this is really the analysis here is he defending his daughter? Is he defending his wife or his daughter from death or great bodily injury? I think a lot of jurors here are going to say yes.
Misty?
Even a brilliant prosecutor could not get a conviction in this case. We're talking about a confrontation that happens while his minor daughter is in the car.
That's all I'm saying. There's no way they can get him on no first-degree murder, no manslaughter, no nothing. He ought to completely get off altogether.
Who's been accused of a rape is in violation of a no contact order. That's what really matters, what happened in that time frame. And I don't think we see charges here. And if we do, I think a jury is going to acquit.
Just quickly, help me understand this. So he wasn't really charged. That's why the sheriff backed away from it. They arrested on probable cause. Now they'll figure out they're going to dump it on the prosecutor. We'll see what happens. But I'm going to follow this one because I don't know how they let this guy out. What did they think was going to happen? Misty Maris, Matt Murphy, thank you for the quick take on this. We'll have the conversation again. Dan Abrams.
Pleasure as always.
Right now. Hey, thanks for watching. Go to join.nn.
That's just wild to think that you got all of these people, most of these prosecutors and judges and DAs, most of them being men and fathers, don't see this as clear as day. I'm not saying that they should be biased, but what I'm saying is that this is clear that this man's daughter was abducted, shouldn't have been taken, and this man has a propensity of sexually violating a child by any means necessary. That threat should be eliminated. And he shouldn't even have to face having to get together lawyer fees and charges and potentially think about having to do a life sentence in prison. Like he shouldn't have to go through that. But again, salute to that father. I'm with you on that. And that's why I would hope that nobody ever tests me like that, put me in a position like that, because I'm not going to question whether I'm going to defend my daughter or not. Right? Shout out to the father. And hopefully we can get a positive outcome out of this, and we'll go from there. So we'll probably do an update. But shout out to the father, to the man that lost his life. It is what it is. Yep. So we'll do an update, and we'll talk about it later. Thank you.